Hi, I just want to say that I'm not a doctor or an engineer. I just use YouTube to generate some ideas. We live in San Carlos, Mexico, and we're about a 5-hour drive from the border. So we thought we should have something like this for an emergency. This is for our use only. We wanted to show you what we're doing. Where we live, there's probably no more than 10 commercial ventilators within 100 miles of us. So there would be a good chance if we get sick with a virus and needed one, they would not be available. We're not sure there would be one available in the US right now with the shortages. So peace of mind, we decided to make one ourselves. I had plenty of time with the quarantine going on, and Amazon furnished most of the parts. First, it's very easy to do this, and the parts are not that expensive. I will leave links to all the parts that you would need if you decide to make a design similar to this. You can see the tools you'll need from this video. This is not designed to replace a commercial ventilator, but to provide air assistance in case of an emergency. I wanted to make a mechanical respirator at first and had all the parts, but could not get the ambo bag. There's a ton of YouTube ideas out there for the ambo bag. Let me show you how the devices I made function. The first device that I made is an AC unit. And what I did, oh no, it's this one here. Yeah. It's this one. The first device, the first device I made is this one. And it's an AC unit. And I have a speed control right here. And I have a uniboard, an Android uniboard here, and I have a switch right here. And the Android uniboard switches this. Now there's a video that I got on here that will show you exactly how this works and how to hook this up. It's really easy. There's 3 little wires that go from here to here. There's a little bit of code you have to put on it, but it's not a big deal. Trust me, it's really easy. This pump I'm using here is nothing more than a pump that you would pump up an inflatable boat. And I've got some wiring here, and I have a diagram so you can see exactly how I wired this. To power the uniboard, it needs 9 volts of power, and there's a couple ways you can do that. I decided, since this is an AC unit, that I'd just go ahead and put a USB and plug it into this AC surge protector strip here so that it would have juice all the time. That's basically it. I got some hose. This is pool hose that you use for, to clean a pool. And then I bought a mask, a scuba mask, not for scuba diving, but for scuba on top of the water. What do you call that?
Snorkeling.
Snorkeling, for snorkeling. And then to fire this unit up, you simply plug it into the wall like this, and then I turn on the strip here, and it automatically fires up. So right now, the uniboard is talking to this switch, which is turned it on a sequence of 12 breaths per minute right now. And I'll show you how that works in just a second. Let me turn this off for a second. Let me come over to this unit. And of course, we thought if we're sick, maybe we need 2. So this unit, I made it a DC unit. And I purchased this Makita. It's a leaf blower. And it has 3 speeds. I'm putting it on the lowest speed. And then I used a clamp right here to clamp the trigger. And I can adjust this clamp with this little device right here. You really don't have to do that. I found that once you set it once, that's pretty good. But you could increase the volume or decrease the volume with this. And you have the 3 speed that you can increase it, but I don't think you would ever go above the lower speed. To turn this unit on, since it's strictly portable, all you do to turn this one on is I have a switch over here on this side, on the outside. I turn that on, and then to fire the uniboard, I have a 9-volt battery inside this. And all I do is turn that on, and that talks to the switch, and that talks to that battery, and that battery is coming over to this, and this unit is now fired up and working, and it's also 12 breaths a minute. This battery here is rechargeable, of course, and then I have a backup battery that I can recharge to replace this one when this one goes out. I don't know exactly how long this battery will run. I had it run for 5 hours and it still had plenty of power, so you'll have more than ample enough time to charge an extra unit and get it ready for a backup when you replace it. There again, I used the same hose and I used the same scuba, or not scuba, but mask, snorkel mask. The tools that you'll need, I mean, this is 95% of them. You're going to need a drill, you're going to need a few drill bits. This thing here is nice for drilling out the larger holes. I got all this at Harbor Hard Freight. You probably have most of these tools at home. I got a crimper, some Phillips screwdrivers. The wire you'll use is just 14 gauge stranded wire. You need some wire strippers. You need a soldering gun. You don't even need these. These are grommets that you can make so that it doesn't chafe the cables when they go through the bin. These are nothing but heat sink that go on top of the wires and you heat them up. This, and then you'll need little lugs like this to connect the wires, and those can heat up. This thing here I ordered from Amazon, and all these little connections, and it wasn't very expensive. It's like $8, $9, and you can make up these little wires because you're going to need 6 of these. Actually, if you had 6 wires, you don't need to buy this little kit. And that's basically everything you're going to need. Now I want to show you how this works. So I'm going to bring my assistant over here, Mary, and Mary is going to hold the DC unit up to her face first. Okay, Mary, first of all, I'm going to turn off the unit for a second. And I want you to hold it tight against your face, and can you breathe? So the mask isn't stopping you from breathing. Yeah, and that's important because this has valves on it so that she can still breathe if this isn't on or if it goes off accidentally. These things here would go around her head and hold it comfortably on while she's sleeping and stuff like that. So I'm going to turn it back on. So when I turn the 9-volt battery on, that activates the Uniboard and fires it back up. Now, Mary, is that pretty much sequenced to how you're breathing right now? And do you feel like it's blowing too much air into you or just about the right amount? Okay, now we have played around with this before the video, and we sequenced this thing to Mary's breathing in a healthy breathing right now. If we want to adjust the sequence, we simply will go to the Uniboard and we'll change the sequence. And I've got a video on that to show you how we change the sequence on that board. Okay, now we're going to go over to the AC unit, and we're going to have her put that one on. And I'll fire that one up. And these are all ready to go. So all you have to do is turn them on. And when you turn them on, the little Uniboard fires up and they're ready to go. Now, is this very similar to the other one, Mary? And so pretty much the same as the other one in terms of sequence of breathing and all that? Yeah, in fairness, we set this up ahead of time, and we set the sequence and the air almost identical. On this one, I have a volume control, which I'll show you right here, for the speed adjustment. And let's see if I can get this down to where you can see it. It's right here on the front. So, and that's simply an AC speed control that you can volume down the volume of the air. On the sequence of the breaths, we simply go to the uniboard, and then I'll have a video on that to show you how we can sequence that down. And I actually use my phone to do that. And of course, there's the attachments you can use to your phone. That's about it. And I think the biggest thing here, it took, actually, you could build one of these probably in a day easy. With all the research and everything I did, it probably took me about 3 or 4 days to do it. But in reality, you can see that if you had all the parts and they're ready to go, you could probably put this thing together in 2 or 3 hours. So that's it. And thank you, Mary. And that's the end of the video.